Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ash and I'm the owner of Magic Touch Botanica, and today we are going to talk about what is July bringing to you? What lessons is it bringing to you, and how's your finance going to look this month? So as you already know, if you've been following this channel, I try to do a video in the beginning of every month to talk about the different transits, and then to also just bring you some guidance, bring you some messages from spirit. So first, if you don't really care about the astrological transits, you can go to the description box below and fast forward to the pick a pile portion. But if not, stay tuned because there's a lot happening this month. So first, happy Cancer season. So Cancer season, as we all know, is a water sign. It's going to bring things emotionally up for us. It's going to feel emotionally charged, but it's not just like emotional, it's nurturing too. It's bringing up themes around how do we nurture ourselves, how do we take care of each other. That's at least what I've been feeling. But also it may be bringing up passion to you, and maybe bringing up feelings of like defensiveness. It's definitely brought up feelings of defensiveness for me, as like things have been shifting in my life. And I've realized that a lot of that defensive energy is coming from like me being triggered, but also coming from it being Cancer season. So the major transits that are happening this month, and I'm going to talk about these transits like every month until September, well, for some of them until October, for some of them until December. So these are just major transits that are happening for a long period of time that is constantly going to be like the theme in the background. So the first one is Pluto retrograde, which I talk about all the time, but that has been happening from April 27th until October 6th. And the themes, as we know, Pluto is the planet of destruction, of rebirth, of death. And with it being in retrograde, it's us. So every time any planet is in retrograde, a lot of times it's internal. What is happening internally to us? What can we reflect on internally? With Pluto being in retrograde, it's what needs to be destroyed in our life, what needs to be rebuilt in our life, and us reclaiming our personal power, us looking at the areas of our life that we wish we can get more control of, and then just us looking at the parts of our life that just needs to be destroyed, that we need to get rid of. So again, that's been happening since April, will continue to happen in October. And I wouldn't be surprised, like, this energy is going to show up in every aspect of our life. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is showing up in your family relationships, with your friendships, with your career, with your home, etc. It's going to make you reflect on every aspect. What do I need to get rid of? What do I need to rebuild? Then we have Saturn retrograde that's been happening since May 23rd and will be going on until October 10th. And this is another review of our foundations. Saturn is all about our foundations, our rules, our traditions. So it's us looking at how have we been embodying this traditional way of doing things. How can we change it? What do we need to get rid of so that we can show up more authentically, so that we can have a stronger foundation? So it's definitely making you look at your foundation, structures, tradition, rules, ways that you restrict yourself. And it being an Aquarius is also like ways that it restricts you from showing up authentically. Then we have Neptune retrograde, which happened at the end of June, so June 25th, and will be happening until December 11th. And this is about facing tough realities about yourself and those you associate with. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden you find out that you have friends in your circle that actually were not rooting for you. Don't be surprised if you find out that you have, just in general, people in your life that were not serving you in the ways that you thought it was. Even right now, me saying that, Spirit is showing me like balance. So seeing where have you been giving and where have you not been getting, and removing those relationships, shifting those relationships, setting boundaries with the Saturn retrograde with those relationships so that everything is serving a higher purpose. You're getting rid of all of that. And then Mars in Leo, which happened June 25th, and it is ending July 29th. And this is not like a long transit, but it's taking up like all of July. And with Mars being in Leo, what I feel is that there's definitely going to be a lot of sex, definitely going to be a lot of passion. People's angers are going to be triggered. But it's also really forcing you to think about what is it that you really want? What is it that you are willing to fight for? What is it that you're not willing to fight for? What needs to get eradicated? What needs to no longer exist? So those are the major transits. And then for July specific transits and astrological events, we have the new moon in Cancer happening July 9th, which is happening tomorrow. And this new moon in Cancer is all about self-care. New moons are a perfect time for you to do manifesting work because the new moon energy is about growth, it's about new beginnings. And so when you're manifesting, you want to use that energy of the moon growing into a full moon to manifest your goals, your desires as also growing. A lot of times when you do new moon manifestations, you'll see that the things that you manifested for that day, it will grow into fruition by the full moon. So this new moon that's happening tomorrow, you definitely want to use it for any manifestation work that you're doing. But to use it alongside it being in Cancer, think about what it is you want to implement in your life, what it is you want to grow in your life in relationship to self-care. So what is it that you want to prioritize new in your life that's going to aid you in taking care of yourself and then fully showing up as yourself? Just so you know, if self-care is something you want to explore more, I am hosting a workshop on self-care and community care Saturday night, only available to Patreon members that are a part of our second tier called Magic Touch members. So if you are interested in that, definitely sign up for my Patreon. For that tier level, it is only $10 a month. And with that tier, you get our monthly tarot scopes, you get any monthly vlogs or blogs that I post, and you get to be a part of the new moon, full moon classes. I am no longer doing rituals because I totally believe that we can do things for ourselves, and I actually really enjoy teaching versus having to do stuff all the time. Spirit has told me, like, no, Ash, like, you need to teach. And so that's what I've been doing, and it's brought me so much joy. And I will also tell you, like, during the workshop Saturday, that if you're new, go rewatch my boundaries workshop that I did for the last full moon, because that is a way of taking care of yourself, is knowing what are boundaries, how do I set them, and how does my life show up when I don't have them. And I talk about that in that workshop, and it is available for rewatch on my Patreon as well. So consider joining. You'll be able to get all these lessons and these classes either live or as part of a rewatch, because I have them recorded so that people can watch when they are able to. So that's what the new moon is bringing us. Then on July 15th, we have Chiron going into retrograde in Aries. And this is, again, like I said, retrogrades are all about being introspective and reflecting. And with Chiron retrograde in Aries, it's about removing the blocks in our life, removing what stops us from truly healing. I highly recommend looking up your birth chart, your natal chart, and seeing what sign Chiron is in and looking up what that means. So for example, my Chiron is in Leo, which means that I really struggle with showing up confidently and showing up, putting my face out there. I 100% struggle with that. But my gift in that is that I'm able to see the light in everybody. I'm like, yeah, you need to put yourself out there. Yeah, you need to share your magic. You need to share your voice. I'm so good at that, but I'm so bad at being able to see it for myself and actually showing up. So we're going to see how Chiron retrograde is going to affect me. I mean, I've already been showing up more, but I'm sure that it's really going to remove that blockage, that wound that has stopped me from, like, making more videos consistently, etc., etc. So look up where Chiron is in your natal chart, and you'll be able to see how this Chiron retrograde is going to show up for you. And that's the same with any retrograde or transit. Look up to see where this transit is happening in your natal chart, and you'll be able to know how specifically it's going to show up for you. So then on July 22nd, It is finally Leo season, and I told you, like with anything, with the Mars in Leo, all of that, I feel like it's really like sex, passion, confidence. And you may be a little angry, maybe super passionate about something that you've been thinking about. So I definitely feel like Leo season is bringing in that sex, that passion, that confidence. Think about like every summer, what during the Leo season, what it means. I know for me, when I was single, Leo season, I was holding it up, I was having fun, and I definitely feel that for this season. And then after that, we have literally the next day, we have the full moon in Aquarius. And for the full moon in Aquarius, for my Patreon members, I will be hosting a astrology basics class, because as we all know, Aquariuses are known for being the astrologers, the coaches, the guides. And I've already been asked by someone that's a Patreon member that they want to learn more about astrology. So I will be going over the basics, which is just your three major big signs, your sun, moon, and rising. And then I want to look at Chiron, and I also want to look at our MC, because that's something that people have asked me questions about. So I'll be covering those five different things on my Patreon. So again, if you want to learn more in-depth lessons, consider joining my Patreon. It is a good, fun time, and I'll be able to really break down really complex things in a way that help me learn it. So full moon in Aquarius is about community. It's about thinking about others. It's about the individual being a part of the collective. And that is something I talk about all the time. I think that like when I think about, well, I wouldn't say when I think about, but when I've seen people talk about social justice work, it's really critiquing like the individualistic society we live in here in the United States. And for me, as an Aquarius, I'm like, the individual is just as important in the collective. I don't think there's anything wrong that we're thinking about the individual. You're thinking about yourself. But it is that we don't think about its relationship to the collective that's the problem. And I definitely see that as a huge theme for this full moon in Aquarius. And I wonder how it's going to show up individually too, for each of us. So that's what the full moon's going to bring us, is just this idea about community, this idea about thinking about others, and how our healing affects the collective, and also how our not healing affects the collective. And then the last transit is Jupiter entering Aquarius on the 29th. And this is a transit, you know, I always see the transits as like, it's going to affect the individual, it's going to affect the collective, it's going to affect also socially and politically. And for Jupiter entering Aquarius, I definitely see it as political changes happening. And I'll talk a little bit more about it for the August video. But I see political changes. I see us really thinking about the future. I see us being more revolutionary. I see, you know, I've been talking about last video. I talked about us moving away from capitalism, how capitalism is gonna break down because it's meant to. And I see us when Jupiter enters Aquarius, us tying up those loose ends, wrapping up things to move forward, and any missed opportunities representing itself. I also see this transit as a good time for us to start new businesses, start new business partnerships, and to start new partnerships in general. But again, going back to the political part, I definitely see us tying up loose ends with what happened January 6th. And I see just things changing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some major political changes going into August. And I'll talk more about that in August. So now that you know everything that is happening astrological, now we're going to go to the pick a pile portion. And for this, as I always say, just close your eyes, meditate, and see which pile is calling you the most. And then go to your reading. I'm going to focus on what is the lessons July is bringing you, and also what may be happening financially for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I want to keep doing this, and knowing that this is helping you in any way really helps me to continue showing up. Sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Welcome to the pick a pile portion of this video. So for this portion, what you're gonna do is just close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and see which pile you feel energetically pulled to. Like I say for all my pick a piles, Know that this reading is meant to give you insight. This reading is meant to give you information, to help guide you, to help give you some insight into what this month is going to bring to you. Please use your discernment. Please use your own intuition to decide whether a message resonates or it doesn't. If it doesn't resonate, you don't need to claim it. Just take in what feels good and what feels right for you. So now I'm going to leave about 30 seconds, 45 seconds of meditation for you to decide which pile you feel pulled towards. If you already decided which pile you feel pulled towards, go to the description box below and hit the timestamp for the pile that you feel pulled towards. So again, we have 5 piles. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, pile 1, welcome to your June 2021 pick a pile. So like I said in the beginning, I'm channeling first what is the lesson that July is going to bring to you. So for y'all picked the crystal Ocean Jasper, and it says schedule yourself in. And that already says it all. It means that this month, y'all really need to prioritize your own healing. Y'all need to prioritize your own self-care. Y'all are probably the pile that takes care of everybody. Y'all are probably the pile that prioritizes everybody else but yourself. So definitely schedule yourself in. Schedule yourself into your calendar. And then second, y'all got grounded. Keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. This is speaking to boundaries. You know, like I felt with the first card, y'all are somebody that prioritizes other people. Y'all are somebody that maybe probably feels guilty for not being able to prioritize yourself, or feels guilty when you aren't able to do something somebody else wants you to do. And this month, the lesson is about you standing your ground, standing in your truth. And in those moments that get hard, go to prayer. Pray that you're given the strength to do what you need to do in order for you to prioritize yourself. Pray that you're given the strength to set these boundaries. Pray that you're given the wisdom to see yourself for all of the glory that you are. Pray that you're able to, attract that self-love so that you're able to value yourself, so that you're able to see yourself as somebody that is worthy of being taken care of. And even right now, as I'm looking at this card, I'm also feeling like ask your family, ask your friends, tell them, yo, I've been having this muscle spasm for the past month. I need help getting a massage. I really need a massage. Reach out to your community and schedule yourself in. The other thing too with schedule yourself in, it's funny because like a year ago I got a reading, and this was not a year, I would say like 6 months, 7 months ago I got a reading, and I was told that I need to schedule in my own energy healing for myself, and I need to schedule in my own readings, and I need to schedule in my own rituals. And at that time, I was like doing rituals for everybody, doing readings for everybody, doing energy healing for everybody. And I wasn't allowing time for me to heal, for me to process my emotions. I was putting everybody else in my schedule, and I wasn't allowing time for myself. So I'm going to actually go into the book to see what it has to say about Ocean Jasper. This is a new deck. It's called the Daily Crystal Inspiration. If you feel pulled towards buying the deck or exploring the deck for yourself, So let's see what it says for Ocean Jasper. Right here. So it says, there's always time for me time. It's okay to make yourself a priority. If you don't take care of yourself, it's hard to be available to care for others in an effective and healthy way. Schedule a little time every day, to ensure that you are nurturing and nourishing yourself properly. Take a break and treat yourself in some small way. You've earned it. Your day is full that you've earned it. If your day is so full that you can't schedule 5 minutes to yourself, then schedule 10. Self-care is not selfish. It's absolutely necessary in order to be the best version of you. Core questions. What do you do for yourself? Do you put yourself last on the to-do list? How can you make yourself more of a priority? Crystal action. Affirm. I care for myself because I am important. And I want you to repeat that to yourself 3 times. I care for myself because I am important. Feel it in your heart. You are important. You are important. You are valuable to those around you. And it is through your self-care that you are able to continue to show up for everyone around you. So today, make a commitment to schedule time for yourself. That is your lesson for the month of July, pile 1. Now let's see how your money is going to look for this month. And I always like to pull for money because that is generally what everybody gets a reading for. And when I think about the pick-a-piles and how I want to organize them, I think about what is it that people get readings for constantly, and how can I not only make it more accessible to people who can't afford a reading, but I want to get deeper. Like, if you're scheduling a reading for me, it's because we're going to get deep. We're going to get into your karma. We're going to get into your past life. Like, I don't want to just do readings about your money when I have pick-a-piles for that. You know, like, I want people to schedule a consultation because they're trying to get to the nitty-gritty of their shadow work and of their purpose. And so by me providing these monthly pick-a cards, it helps you get that insight that you're looking for without needing to book an expensive reading that's only going to talk about money. Like, yeah, I want to get deeper with you. I want to really, like I said today, I want to get you to a higher timeline. So, what does Spirit have to say about your money? It literally, like, in a lot of ways mirrors what your lesson is. Because especially with the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles is about giving to others. And what I'm feeling is allowing others to give to you and allowing you to give to yourself. Taking down that wall, becoming vulnerable with those around you, and allowing others to take care of you. So this month, if you're tight with money, because you got the 9 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups is like wishes are coming true. And when it's in reverse, sometimes it's slowed down, sometimes it's internal, or sometimes it's Spirit asking you to reevaluate what it is that you want, what it is that you're trying to manifest. But definitely for you all, what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is you needing to ask your community to show up for you. You needing to ask for your family, for your friends. Let them know what it is that you're trying to manifest, and let others help you, because again, you're the pile that prioritizes everybody else, and letting that wall down. A lot of times when we get the 9 of Wands upright, it's somebody who's been a warrior, a fighter, who's put up a wall and protecting themselves. And in reverse, Spirit is saying, put down that wall, please. Let others come to your aid. You keep trying to rescue everybody. Let somebody else rescue you for once. It's not forever, but you don't have to do everything alone. So, that is your message, pile 1 for July. That is your lesson. This is your money. If it resonates, let me know below in the comments. Let me know what you're going to take with you for the month of July. And keep me updated if you want on how this lesson manifests. I send you so much love. And again, thank you so much for supporting me. If you want to keep getting these videos, please subscribe to my channel. And again, thank you and have a beautiful month. Hey pal, welcome to your July 2021 Pick a Pal reading. So the first part is going to be, what is the lesson that July is bringing to you? So I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but you got this crystal, this card. And the card is get out of your own way. Then you have learn. Take a lesson from the owls. Deeply observe the night and you'll become a little wiser in the day. And then you got complacency. And complacency, it's a red card. So it's like alarms. But it's telling me that it's time for you to take action towards your healing. It's time for you to take action towards your shadow work, which Spirit is also telling me you need to make a video about shadow work. But what shadow work essentially means is looking at the dark parts of you that you suppress and hide from yourself, or that you feel shame about, and accepting it and forgiving yourself so that you can move forward. I feel like this pile at least, y'all are holding a lot of shame around who it is you used to be, or maybe you said something to someone a long time ago. Maybe you weren't perfect. We're not perfect. Humans are not meant to be perfect. But there's something about your past you've been holding on to, almost hiding from yourself out of shame. And it's what's getting in your way. It's what's getting in your way to showing up fully in your life. It's what's getting in your way for you pursuing your desires and for you to see that you're worthy. You're holding on to something in your past that's causing so much shame to the point that it's blocking you from seeing your worth and blocking you from feeling like you're worthy of manifesting your desires. Some of y'all are artists, I'm hearing. And because you're holding on to that shame, like with the complacency, I'm also seeing some of y'all in a job that you don't even want to be in, but like you just want security. You don't want to take the risks and be in the uncomfortable feeling that it is to say, I want more and I need more, is what I'm hearing. It's not even that you want, you actually need it. You're miserable unless you go after what it is that you want. And you know this. You know that you're going to be miserable until you do the thing that you actually want to do. And so for this month, I feel like you're really going to be confronted by your shadow. And what I invite you to do, and what Spirit is inviting you to do this month, whatever part of your shadow shows up, like Spirit is showing me a hug. Hold yourself. Hold it. Maybe the shadow that comes up is some stuff with your inner child. Hold yourself and stop punishing yourself. This is a message that I've also got in terms of the collective too. It's needing to release this need to punish yourself. And therefore, through that, you will release the need to punish others. You haven't done anything wrong, pal 2. In learning that and being able to observe the night so that you're a little wiser in the day, which is such a beautiful metaphor, because I'm like, wow, when you start accepting who you are, who you were in the darkness, you really start appreciating who you are now in the light. And we don't truly show up in the light until we've gone through the dark. So remember that this month. You know, if jealousy comes up, if envy, if low self-esteem stuff comes up, if self-hate comes up, anything in regards to that comes up for you this month, hold yourself a little bit tighter. Journal it out. Journal out where that jealousy is coming from. Journal out where that self-esteem, like that low self-esteem is coming from. Journal out where that self-hate is coming from. Write down what that self-hate looks like. And then I want you to talk back to it, especially if it's self-hate. I want you to talk back to that self-hate, talk back to that jealousy, talk back to that part of you, whatever it is that you're ashamed of. I want you to talk back to it as if it is a friend's journal that you've read. What would you tell your friend? That's something that my therapist tells me all the time. I struggle sometimes with self-hate or just negative self-talk, where I won't believe I'm able to do something. And I'm so good at helping other people. I would then look at it like, okay, well, what would happen if a friend told me they don't believe in themselves? What would you say? So I ask the same thing of you. What would you say if your friend came to you with some of the things that you're harboring and suppressing inside? What would you say to them? Say it to yourself. You deserve that same love. You deserve that same care. And if you're not so gentle with your friends, be gentle with you. What would a gentle person say? What would a loving person say? What would someone that loves you say to you if they heard some of the things you say in the dark? Journal it out and cry it out. You might cry, but really hold yourself gently in those wounds and mend them. Like what Spirit is showing me is like in you exposing that to yourself. It's going to be like salt, putting salt to the wounds where it hurts, but at the same time it's healing. Which makes me think of my favorite poetry book called Salt by Nair Wahid, which I feel like this pile will really enjoy. So I recommend that book, Salt by Nair Wahid. But yeah, the lesson for y'all is exploring your shadow, loving your shadow, because that is the thing that is in your way right now. So let's look at your finances. Oops, sorry for those wearing headphones, if that was loud. And I like to pull for finances every month because I said this in pile one, so now I feel like I have to say it for every pile. But it's because that's one of the things that people get readings for all the time. And, I want people to book readings to get into the deep shit. I want people to book readings to explore their karma, their past life, their blockages. Money is one of those things where, honestly, I feel like we have a little more, I wouldn't say control, but just a little more power over. So I like to do this every month just so that you get that insight if you're somebody that's constantly worried about it. So let's see what your money looks like this month. So first, with the Two of Swords in reverse, this is the energy of being stuck in limbo. When it's upright, it's like a tough decision that you have to make in order for you to move forward. But with you guys in reverse, I definitely feel like the money energy around you, it's like you aren't sure, like you're so unsure about what to do next. And you've been in this position for a long ass time. And for some of you, it's that you don't want to work there anymore, or that you want to go for that promotion, that you want to switch your position, but you haven't really done anything. So you're stuck in this in-between place. Or maybe that position hasn't made itself available yet. And with the Strength card, I'm almost feeling like you have to make your luck, or you have to make this position, or you have to ask for it, or you have to request it. Whatever it is that you want changed in terms of your money and your job, if you've been in this stuck position for a long time, it's almost like you need to take the action to shift that, and you need to build the confidence in it. That's one part. The other thing too is that your lack of confidence is also what might be keeping you in limbo. You already know what you need to do, but you don't believe in yourself. So you're keeping yourself stuck here. So July has the potential, especially during Leo season, because Strength card is related to Leo in my head. It's making me think of that. In Leo season, I feel like you're going to feel more confident, and you're going to take the actions that you need to take in order to get your money to flow better. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it's speaking to the same stuck feeling, but feeling like you've put in so much work, it's not going anywhere. It's not paying off. So, in like with all the cards, what I'm seeing for you, pal, too, in terms of your money, is that for some of you, where you're at is not where you're supposed to be. You need to move on, or you need to take a step back and do what's only required of your position. That's what the Seven of Pentacles is speaking to. Like, you've been stuck in limbo, you haven't been seeing movement even though you've been putting in on the work, and it's because it's just not going to go anywhere, and you need to take a step back and only do what your position's asking you to do, because going above and beyond is not going to get you anywhere. And the second part is, if you want to go above and beyond, it's going to be through your confidence and your action of changing things. For some of you, it's not in the job you're in right now. It's you taking a step back, applying to other places. For another group, it's you recognizing that things have been stuck in limbo because you haven't asked for what it is that you want and what it is that you require. So for those who have asked the job position that you're already in and nothing has changed, it's time for you to step back, look elsewhere. For those who have not asked, it's time for you to ask for that higher position. It's time for you to start making little like planting little seeds to see where it's going to take you. That's my advice for you guys, pal, too, about what it is that you should do with your money. This month is gonna be a lesson. It's gonna be a lesson in confidence. It's gonna be a lesson in you observing. It's gonna be a lesson in you accepting all of who you are and getting out of your way. And it relates too, because with that strength card, it's saying that you have all the tools you need in order to get yourself out of the rut that you're feeling in. You just have to do it. Get out of complacency mode and start really putting some action. It's time. Thank you, Paul, too, for trusting me to give you this reading. If it resonates, let me know below in the comments. I send you all my love, and I hope that you have a beautiful, healing July. Hey, Pal 3, welcome to your Pick a Pal reading for July 2021. So the first part I'm going to read is, what lesson are you going to gain for this month? So the first card you got, and forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but the crystal you got was Selenite, and it says soothe your soul. And then the third card you got was dance. Allow yourself some fun each day, just as the sun dances with the moon each night. And then your last card was wisdom. And what I'm really feeling with these three cards is that this month you're going to value and you're going to really see the worth and value behind fun. You're going to see that having fun and allowing yourself to not be so serious is going to be one of the biggest, like, knowledge you can gain. Like, what I'm seeing right now is they're showing me, like, Spirit is showing me, like, indigenous people just playing and goofing around. And maybe for some of y'all have indigenous ancestors. And, like, I know for myself, I have indigenous ancestors. And sometimes when I think about, like, my ancestors, period, I'm, like, thinking they were so serious and, like, who they were spiritually. And what they're showing me is, like, an indigenous tribe singing and sharing stories around a campfire. And they're saying that, like, we had fun too. So if you have, whether you have indigenous ancestors or not, well, technically we all have indigenous ancestors. But what they're showing me is, like, if you've been trying to emulate, like, a seriousness in your craft and in your healing, they're saying, like, babe, no, we have fun too. We goofed around too. And that in itself was a deep wisdom as to why we've come back as humans. So this month, definitely take some time to have fun. Take some time to soothe your soul. And in that, you will gain this huge wisdom that you'll be able to share with those around you. Even if you don't want to share it, it's like a huge wisdom in how you work and what you need to do. So I'm going to look at the book and see what does it say. So it says, trust that things happen in your life for a reason. It's natural to worry about the unknown, but try tapping into hope instead. Most of the time, the things you worry about don't actually end up happening. And when you look back, you realize how much time and energy was wasted stressing over something you had little control over. Of course, take action when you believe you can help or change the outcome of a situation. If not, try to replace your anxiety or tension with more positive thoughts. Soothe your mind, body, and spirit with the comforting notion that it will all be okay in the end. The universe unfolds as it should. Core questions. How does worry serve you? What can you tell yourself to ease your worries? Affirm. I trust that all will be well. And I want you to repeat that to yourself anytime that you feel this overwhelming worry this month. Trust that all will be well. I tell myself sometimes too, like when I worry about the future, I'm like, at the end, everything's going to be okay because it's always been okay. Today, let go of a worry by finding a reason to fill up that space with hope instead. So, when you feel that stress and worry that you're not good enough, that you're not doing enough, turn on the music that makes you dance, get up, move your body, sing, release that energy of worry, and know that in those moments you are still gaining this tremendous insight as to what your healing needs to look like. So let's look at your money. I always like to channel for money every month because it's usually what people want a reading about all the time. And I'm like, I want y'all to book a reading because we're going to look at some deep shit. Not because, we want to know about money. Money, in a lot of ways, is something that we have more control over than we think. And so I like to give insight for that. It's something that's a worry for a lot of people. So let's look at your money. So for some of you, I'm definitely seeing that y'all have like some of the, I wouldn't say anxiety this month, but maybe some of the anxiety or just like what I'm feeling is like, I don't know what to do. It's gonna come because you feel like you have so many options, because maybe there's so many opportunities for you to make money, and you're like, what should I choose? What should I do? The Queen of Pentacles wants to remind you that no matter what you decide to do this month in regards to your money, career, what opportunities you open yourself up to, what opportunities you say yes to, that money will find its way to you through that. And with the Ace of Cups, it's overflowing. Like, it's like what I'm being shown is almost like, y'all don't necessarily need to worry about money, but if you're worrying about money, think about how you can open more avenues for money to come to you this month. That would be the thing that I'm feeling. It's, if you're feeling like money is overflowing, maybe it's because you need to open yourself up to using other skills and talents. And if you haven't been worrying about money, it's really mostly the confusion around what opportunities should you take. Yeah, so with the Ace of Cups, it's also, and I think I felt this while I was shuffling. I was feeling this message of like getting out of your head and into your heart. And with the Ace of Cups, it's speaking to getting out of your head, like thinking logically and taking a chance on your heart, on your desires, on your art, on your creativity. Because your creativity is going to open up these many doors that are trying to present itself to you for income. So trust that this month. I feel like this is a very specific reading for someone of spirit trying to affirm to you to take a chance on your creativity, take a chance on your talent, take a chance on your skill. Even if it means you just do it as a side hustle on the side for now, but take a chance on it. This is the perfect month to do it for you and see what kind of income will come to you from taking that chance. So pile 3, this is your reading for June. Oops, I said June. This is your reading for July. I send you so much love and thank you so much for coming to me to give you this message. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to get more of these and if you really appreciated it and if it resonated with you in any way. I send you so much love, and remember, have fun this month. Dance, enjoy yourself this month. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your July 2021 pick a card reading. So the first part of this reading is going to be about what it is that you're going to learn this month. And the first card that you guys have, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, is Chrysoprase. And it says allow yourself to receive. Then you have music. There is a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. And then vanity. And then impatience. And I'm laughing because I had to, what I tried this time around is I pulled the cards and then I wanted to sit in meditation and see what messages come through. So when I looked at vanity, I was like, what does vanity got to do with music and allowing yourself to receive? So I pulled out another card and then it all made sense. So for you guys, it is a message that kind of goes together, but in a lot of ways a little separate. So first I'm going to go into this crystal that I can't pronounce. And in the book it says, allow yourself to receive. It can sometimes be easier to give. It can sometimes be easier to give than to receive, but receiving help from others is a necessary component of a healthy lifestyle. Open up to receiving as much as you give. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. There has to be a balance between give and take in all of your relationships, whether it's with friends, family, or coworkers. If you notice yourself feeling guilty or uneasy when others give to you, shift your attitude so that you can embrace what they have to offer you. Court questions. Where do you give more than you receive? What feelings cause you to do so? What shifts can you make to create more balance? And then more balance in your relationships. And then crystal action. Affirm. I allow myself to receive. And I want you to repeat that to yourself anytime you feel anxiety around people giving to you. I allow myself to receive. Today say thank you Today say thank you without hesitation or deflection to all compliments that come your way. So it's funny because we have this message around allowing other people to give to you and to accept compliments, and then we have vanity, and then we have music. So what I'm really feeling for y'all is you guys need to slow down. I feel like in a lot of ways, this pile, you might be someone that really had fear around people being able to give to you. Maybe you haven't had people that you could depend on to give to you in the way that you wanted. And Spirit is kind of saying, shift. Instead of trying to get people to show up the way you want, how about observe there's a melody to be heard in the deep parts of the woods, if only you listen. How about observe to see how people are showing up and giving to you? And almost accepting that. I think sometimes we can get sometimes when we're healing, right? And we've gone through so much trauma, we've gone through so much pain. We can create these super rigid boundaries that are not healthy, that can cause us to miss the blessing that's already in front of us, to miss the melody, the harmony that's already in front of us, because we want it to look, sound, and be a certain way. And that's where the vanity comes in for me, for you guys. It's this wanting things to look, to be a certain way, and missing the beauty that's already there. Missing the blessing that's already around you by just accepting what people can give you instead of forcing people to show up in a way that feels comfortable for you. And I mean that in sometimes, and this is a message I got today, which is crazy. And don't implement it for everything. But in this realm, sometimes what we want to feel comfortable is actually enabling unhealthy patterns and cycles in ourselves. And sometimes what feels uncomfortable is pushing us to a healthier place and pushing us to fully show up in the ways that we're meant to and need to. So while you may be asking someone to show up in a specific way because that is what's comfortable for you, it may actually be enabling behaviors that is not healthy for you. And so that's what I'm seeing. And with the impatience, I mean, it's almost like you're trying to, it's like you want, like I'm really seeing this for your relationships for whatever reason, but it's whether it's love or friendships, it's like you want a certain type of love, you want a certain type of partnership, and Spirit is saying like this tension and friction you're experiencing right now, it's to give you the lessons and tools so that the relationships you're looking for can manifest for you. So this tension and friction you're feeling between like wanting people to show up a certain way, wanting people to give to you a certain way, and now Spirit's saying like, listen, take a step back and see what is actually being given to you and appreciate that. It's preparing you for the relationship and the love that you want and that you're looking for. And that's the lesson for you this month. It's enjoying the melody that is already around you, that you've been blinded by because you're trying to force something. Allow yourself to receive what people are capable of giving. Allow yourself to see the beauty in that. Allow yourself to see the lesson and love in that, so that you can really manifest and bring in the love that you're looking for. Because what I'm also hearing in terms of love, if you're somebody that's single, if you're not, then just let this play out until it's your part again. But for those who are looking for love, what I'm hearing is like, yes, like you deserve a love that values you, finds you worthy. However, some of the rigidness around the boundaries you're setting of how you want to be given love is actually blocking you from receiving something that's authentic and real. Because you don't want a robot, you want a human. You want somebody that's going to grow with you and love with you. And I think that some of the boundaries around it can be attached to some codependency and can also be attached to some pain and trauma that you experienced in the past. And this boundary you're setting is a way to try to protect yourself from pain. But love, pain is inevitable. It's not something to fear. Trauma is something to fear, but pain is neutral. And that's a hard truth. It's a hard truth for me to even say. That's why I gave that big sigh. But it's, sometimes we try so hard to protect ourselves that our walls become too tall, that we don't even see the love that's already there. So that's your lesson for this month. Now let's look at your money. So, I pull for money every month because honestly, this is what a lot of people come to me for readings about. And like I said in the other piles, I want people to come, like I've been making these picker cards because I want when people book a reading with me for it to be something deeper, I want you to come to me to be like, yo, what is this? What's going on with like, my karma, what's going on with my past life, what's going on, what's going on deeper on the soul level. How can I get myself to a higher place, and money is one of those areas where it's very, like, it's very human. It's very human, it's very real, but I think that it doesn't take as much as we think to get us to a place where we can manifest a lot more, than what we have. Okay, so let's see what's going on with your money this month. So pile 4, for your money, what I'm feeling is with the Hermit card, when it comes to money, it's like getting super dedicated, super focused into whatever work or project you have. But with the 5 of Cups in reverse and the Devil card in reverse, it's almost like y'all have gotten rid of any negative self-talk around money, any negative attachment around money, any trauma you have around money. Y'all have worked through it, but this month some of that may come up still, meaning that, yeah, and it's like someone in your life or something in your life is going to make you doubt your worth around money. It's going to make you doubt how you've grown in your relationship with money. And Spirit is saying almost like, don't let those old devils, those old demons come back up again because the person around you or the environment you're in hasn't gotten there yet. Like what I'm hearing with this, it's almost like people around you have scarcity mentality. They don't want to go enjoy their money. They're hoarding it. I'm seeing a dragon, a dragon hoarding money. And you're over that. You're over that worry. You're over that fear. And of course, we all got fear around money, but it's the trauma attached to it. It's making me think of when the pandemic first happened. I have trauma around evictions and being homeless because I was homeless once when I was a child. So sometimes, with the pandemic happened, I lost my job. Automatically, those triggers all came back and those fears all came back. But where I was on a healing level was that I knew that everything was going to be okay. And I feel although y'all still may have worries around money, y'all are at a place where in a lot of ways you know that you're going to be okay and that everything's going to be okay. But there's something that's going to come up this month that's going to trigger those fears that maybe you're not going to be okay. And what Spirit is saying when it comes to your career, your work, or projects, kind of dive yourself in there this month and focus on that. Because it's almost like this is a distraction away from what you're building. And they want you to focus on what you're building. They want you to learn more. They want you to make something. I don't know what you're doing, but it's important. And they want you to really focus on it. And don't allow those fears to distract you, because Spirit really wants you to know that you're going to be okay. Allow yourself to receive, because you're going to be okay. All right, group 4. So that was your reading for July 2021. If it resonated with you, please comment, and subscribe below. This will motivate me to keep going and keep making these videos for you. It means so much to me that you watch these. It means so much to me that you support me. And I send you so much love and healing your way for this month. Have a beautiful July. Hey group 5. Hey group 5. Welcome to your pick a card reading. So for this group, for all the groups. Hey group 5. Welcome to your pick a card reading. So for the first part of your reading, I'm just channeling what is the lesson that you are going to gain this month, and then I'm going to go into your finances. So the first card you got is Garnet, and it says ignite your passion. Then Trust, and it says the robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. And when I saw this, I was like, yo, I need to get this tatted, because I'm not gonna get it tatted, but I really love this because there's a lot of robins freakishly in my neighborhood, which I'm like 90% sure robins are not native to the desert. So I don't know why they're here, but they're beautiful and I love them. And then your third card is creation. And I feel like this is really self explanatory, but I'm going to go into the book that came with this deck, which is the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck, and then jump right into your reading. So the book says, you need a little spice in your life, which makes me think of like the TikTok that's like, add a little spice. Just add a little spice. So in the book it says you need to add a little spice in your life, which makes me think of the TikTok that's like, add a little spice. Light a match to kindle your fury, passionate nature. The heated energy that comes from raw passion will fuel your sense of excitement in everything you do. Instead of succumbing to what at times can be the monotony of everyday routines, approach the people and projects in your life with enthusiasm and renewed vigor. This perspective will energize all areas of your life, including your careers, relationship, challenges, and projects. Court questions. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What lights a fire in your soul? How can you bring more passion to some of the less exhilarating parts of your day? Crystal action. Affirm. My inner fire brings passion to every day. My inner fire brings passion to every day. Today, do one thing or listen to one song that gets you fired up. So I feel like y'all have a project you need to do. Y'all have to create something, or you've been thinking of creating something. And Spirit is asking you to trust that intuition. Trust what is Spirit trying to create. So for some of you, it's a project, meaning some of you have a project that Spirit has been trying to pull you to do. For others, it's like Spirit is showing me like birthing a new life, or creating a new life, or imagining a new life, planning a new life, doing a new lifestyle, but definitely something new. Something new is going to come out of July, and you need to trust your intuition. Whatever this month brings you that fire, that passion, that's where you need to follow. That's what you need to be led by this month, is that passion, that enthusiasm, and trusting that. Like, if something comes up this month where you're like, like for example, this crystal garnet is really calling to you and you're feeling that pull, go get that crystal. Go create a relationship with that crystal. Or if you want to learn astrology, go learn astrology. Go add that to how you view and interact with this world and how you heal. Go do and follow whatever ignites that passion in you. So that was really straightforward. Let's see what your money is going to look like for the month of July. Like, really follow, and look, the star card. Really follow what is pulling you, what is making you excited about life. I said this in the other pile, so I'm going to say it in this pile too. I like to channel for finances every month because it is the thing that people like to book readings for. And I just feel like when people book readings, I want to get deeper into stuff. Like finances is something in a lot of ways. I'm going to say this and it may be triggering for some people, but like in a lot of ways we have control over. We can manifest a lot more for ourselves if we want to. And so that's why I like to channel for finances, because if you feel pulled to do a reading, we won't have to cover something as kind of basic, even though it's not basic. Money is important, but I don't want to channel for money. I really want to channel deeper stuff. So let's jump into your finances for July 2021. You have the Lovers card in reverse, the World card upright, and the Ace of Cups in reverse. So with the Lovers card, it's like it's having some sort of regret around the financial decision that you make this month. With the World card in upright, there is some like a potential of accomplishment and success, and I definitely feel it when it comes to whatever project or whatever desire you feel driven to do this month. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, really what I'm feeling is like, okay, you're gonna feel driven, you're gonna feel passionate about something to do this month. Don't let yourself get drained. Because the Ace of Cups in reverse is like your energy being poured out and there's no replenishing, there's no going back. So don't make any financial decisions you will regret this month. Follow your heart. Wherever your heart takes you is where the success is going to lie and the accomplishment is going to lie. If you do something just because you think it feels safe and logical to do, but it's not something you desire, that's where the regret's going to come from. But if you do something that's driven by your passion and it's going to add passion to your life, then that's where the success, accomplishment, the good feelings are going to come. But in all, when it comes to your money, just make sure that you're being given back as much as you're pouring out. Really look at your budget this month to ensure that wherever the money goes this month, it's going to fuel this passion. It's going to fuel, and it doesn't have to be a project. It literally could be like fueling your passion for life. So that's all I got to say for this month. Group 5, trust yourself, trust your passion, trust that if you decide to take the leap and follow your desires, that you will fly like the robin. Like it says, the robin trusts her wings, not the branch that she sits on. Anytime that you make a decision this month in regards to what just feels safe, you're going to regret it. You're not going to feel good about it. Do what feels good, and that's where the success will lie. So, sending you so much love, Group 5. Thank you so much for watching this pick a pile. If you would like to see more, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. I send you so much love and blessings. May so much healing find you this month. And I'll see you for our next pick a card. Bye.